Hello, my beautiful people. This is Anna Sheriff again. So today I'm here to talk to our young men and women. I come for talk to una. Then we begin their who don't bring at this country. Una feel say una so entitled for begin they go and kill somebody because something happened to una because somebody take woman now and most of the reasons why this black hatred, black on black hate, black on black crime, black on black homicide, is escalating. These are some of the reasons we came up with, right? Waiting, some of the reasons that we have observed, some of the reasons that we have seen, heard, our own independent research we've done. These people think they have so much right. One of them picking that all the kind of this country, I think so. Una get right. When your mom and dad have worked so hard, 2, 3 jobs to bring you in this country, you think it's an entitlement, it's your right. And when they come to this country, they know they learn about this right that they have given them, excessive one, to the point where when a parent want to discipline them, they call the police on you. And they're failing to realize when they call cops, they take them into the system. Some parent will go to jail, and they by the time they realize that the system cares nothing for this black body, especially a male black body, they don't care for it. It's too late. But these kids come to this country with an unruly mentality, most of them. Not all, most of them, especially those who leave their biological mothers and come and meet that their fathers are married to somebody else. They bring that disrespectful mentality to the man or the woman, acting as though they have so much right over their fathers or their mothers. And this is also this entitlement mentality, right? Where we have encouraged our children to misbehave with our spouses. Some people really encourage that. So these are the things. Another thing we talked about was they have no accountability. They believe they are not accountable for their own actions. Failing to realize when you murder somebody, you go into jail. Now you have destabilized two families, your own family and the person that you have killed, the victim's family. So these are the things, and also most of the reasons why these things are happening. Women issue. Now we have learned that the young man Ahmed who was gunned down in his apartment was because of a woman. Why do you young men think because a girl left you for another man, you have the right, you are entitled to kill that person? You take the law into your hands. Let me tell you, man and woman business not the pass. Mama and papa business not the pass. The moment you young men start having sex, you feel like you're grown up, you're an adult, taking the laws into your hands. You are so young, sex is not going anywhere. Mama papa business not they done. Una no need for kill people then for that. Even the grown men and women, you don't need to die for nobody. If relationship did not work, it didn't work. Why kill somebody for that? Why kill yourself? Why go into depressive mood because a relationship didn't work? So let me read an article from the U.S. Department of Justice, Office of the Justice Program, on the percentage of black on black crimes. It says, today, homicide is the leading cause of death among young black men and contributes significantly to the shortened lifespan of a black male. In about 80 to 90% of the cases, the black victim was killed by another black, and about 52% of the murder victims were acquainted with their assailant. Just as we accept that suicide victims are psychologically impaired, we must acknowledge that a murderer is similarly impaired, and blacks, for both environmental and political reasons, are likely to reflect emotional predispositions that allow them to more readily become a homicide statistics. Exactly. Projected self-hatred facilitates blind rage and gives the perpetrator of the victim attack a sense of legitimacy, like I just said, a sense of legitimacy and justifications. They can even justify that they have the right to kill somebody because somebody took their woman. A woman. Really? As young as you people, you don't even know if that woman was the one you were supposed to be married to. And you kill somebody and try to justify that it's your woman. Women are everywhere. Men are everywhere. If relationship did not work, go find somebody that is going to work with you. Find another relationship that will work. You do not have the right or entitlement to kill anybody. You see. Now people become You are not part of the criminal justice system. You become a statistics in a way. So this is what I'm trying to talk about, right? The black on black hatred is becoming like an epidemic in our community, where people feel like they can just go out and kill people, forgetting the pain and heartache that mothers and fathers go through when you kill their children. This has to stop. Let us take a look on some parents who have lost their kids. You know, these videos, please, some of them are very emotional. They are from YouTube, and if you want to watch the full videos, you can just search for fathers and mothers who have lost their kids through gun violence. You can get that.
6 Philadelphia men.
We lost our son in 92.
My son was murdered in 1993.
United by the unimaginable.
Our son was murdered.
He was 35 when he was murdered.
Speaking for the first time publicly together.
They shot him in the back, right in front of me.
About the killing of their children and the stigma of fathers needing help in that moment.
100 people would get up to line up to give my wife a hug, and they walk right past me. You know.
Bilal Qayyum, president of the Father's Day Rally Committee, moderated and assembled the group, saying, while there are many resources for grieving mothers in Philadelphia, there really aren't for dads.
Father needs the daily support because we walking around here sick people under the illusion that we are well.
When Joel Say watched his oldest son, Jarrell, get murdered in front of him in 2011, he immediately wanted revenge. But thankfully, faith and family showed him a different path.
The communication between me and my wife is what I needed the most, and I got that from counseling.
When Zachariah Abdurrahman lost his 2 boys, he threw himself into work, but it became unhealthy.
When you, in your grief, you work yourself to death. And I was like, wow.
As homicides rise and more fathers join what they call this awful fraternity, these men want to share their experiences. They're now forming a new group, Fathers on a Mission, to offer advice, programs on grief, and help others navigate the worst days of their lives.
His son, Khalil Whitell, would have been 19 years old today. He was shot and killed August 23rd in broad daylight in an alley near 87th and Wabash in the Chatham neighborhood. Whitell says his son's birthday is bittersweet.
Them 18 years, I'm appreciative of that, you know, and I'm thankful that I was able to be his father for that amount of time.
Tuesday, Whitell says he wanted to help members of St. Sabina pass out flyers for 3 brothers who were shot in the Auburn Gresham neighborhood over the weekend.
We offered a $15,000 reward.
And I didn't want to be just in the house cooped up. I want to be out here with my brothers and sisters and letting it be known that I'm fighting with
Elephant, one bite at a time.
On September 17, 2019, Scott's son Marquise was killed. His dad says he was about to turn over a new leaf and start classes for a trade program. Scott decided to channel that grief into the community.
I could hear my wife's voice when she said, Marquise would expect us to do something. Because we told him that being a Scott means something.
Scott started going into neighborhoods, asking young men to sign the Black St. Pete Pledge. In short, it's asking the person who signs to walk away from situations that could lead to violence.
We go to the very people that everyone says can't be reached. And by the grace of God, these guys are very receptive. And you'll find out that they don't want to die. And they have concerns themselves.
He shot her 9 times. Why would somebody shoot somebody that many times with their babies right there?
911 emergency. You're sure she's dead?
Yes, I am. I cannot believe this is happening right now.
Police say 9 .40 caliber bullets struck the young mother as her children slept within arm's reach. But theirs were not the only heartbeats in that room.
She was pregnant. Oh my God. Not only did he kill her, she had my grandbaby. And the babies were in the room when it happened.
Marissa was 5 months along with the couple's 3rd child.
For hours now, friends and family of the victim have been gathered on the other side of this apartment building.
I said, I gotta get in there. I don't want her to be by herself. I need to be with her. This pain is a pain I cannot explain. That pain is, oh my God, it's unbearable. You have to get to know a new you. You're not the person that you were before you lost your child.
These mothers are fed up.
They're tired of begging for justice for their murdered children in press conferences, and they are sick of going to funerals. When Bernice Reed's niece, Sharonda, lost her son in October, he was the 9th member of their family to be murdered.
His life being snatched away has just caused an insurmountable amount of pain and heartache.
I thought I'd be gone before either one of my kids. And I just don't want nobody else to feel that pain. It hurt. And people don't understand that it's not gonna never stop.
I think she was just getting started of being who Jaya is. She was just coming into Jaya. She was, my daughter, 18 years, but becoming into being Jaya, and then you actually start to see the stuff you instilled in her play out, It's like you're stuck in a time capsule. You don't want to move forward because it makes you feel guilty for not being there for your kid. I don't know what to do. She was supposed to bury me. I wasn't supposed to bury my child.
Man, those things are very hard to watch. You saw how the pain and agony that these mothers and fathers are going through. It's about time for us to take actions. I know some organizations in the DMV area, churches are doing a lot in Sierra Leone, in Africa. Some organizations will say, oh, we are doing this to focus more on ourselves. Yes, let us focus more on ourselves. However, we need to now channel that focus again to our children. There are a lot of things we can do. These scholarship funds that we create and take it to Africa, why not start it with our own children here? Our children are suffering. They are dying. They are being murdered. As I said in my last video, mentorship, and which is what I'm trying to work on. I just don't want to sit behind this camera and talk. But when everything is set up, I'll make a video, give the numbers and the address of where to go. If you are interested, you can join us. But we want to start talking to our kids. As parents, I will say this again: we need to start teaching our children respect and teach them to respect our race. Teach them the foundation of our traditions, our cultures, where we came from. If you have to take a disrespectful child back to Sierra Leone, let them go there and go to school and learn. When they come back, they will come with a different mindset of how to behave towards their mothers and fathers. Some of you kids are so rude to your parent. We're not here to blame the parent. I'm not blaming any parent, because why? Like my colleague said, there is no one formula to raise a child. You can give them any kind of raising or whatever. You can raise them any way you want. Any type of parent. We have good parents out there. For example, the man who was killed in Maryland by his son I believe was a doctor or lawyer, but during the summer he asked the son to go study, just to go to the library. This boy stabbed his father to death. Entitlement. Another one in New York. 2 years ago, the mother asked the son to go look for a job, shot his mother to death. These are the entitlement mentalities, this excessive right that they have given these children. A 16-year-old can walk into the store, buy a gun, but they cannot allow them to buy alcohol, which is deadly. Both are deadly. A 16-year-old can go to war, they can give them a rifle, but they will not allow them to drink until you are 21 years old. Well, you see, this is how the system is structured. The system is structured against our children. And these kids believe that the system is for them. No, it is not. I want to understand. The system not there for una. The system is unjust, especially to a black male body. When you are black, I told my son, as you are black, you are male. It's not your right. It's a privilege. So don't misuse that privilege. Some of una don't misuse the privilege completely. Una parents don't suffer. Una so disrespectful to them. For those who want to say, oh, it's the way the parents raise these children. I want to inform you guys that our culture, this society, the American society, is structured against the parent, because it is so structured in a way that you are so afraid of disciplining your child because of fear that these kids will call the cops and you go to jail. Now your record is bad. These kids come to this country, this excessive right they have, and a lack of accountabilities are other things that we came up with. You know, they believe when they do things, they commit crime, petty crimes, and now murder, they feel like they are going scot-free. And that is the time they expect their parent to come and save them. A parent that you have been so disrespectful to. I remember bringing my son to this country. I told him, I said, actually, I just drove him to the police station. And we met 2 officers there. And I begged him, I said, can you please take this boy to the juvenile section? I just brought him 6 days ago. The boy started shaking, sweating, and all that. But like my colleague said, there's no one way of raising a child. There's no formula. I believe that was my own formula. I took him, and the officers looked at me and said, ma'am, we can't take him in there because he didn't commit a crime, but we can talk to him. So I was very appreciative that they did that. They spoke with him almost an hour. And since then, knock on the wood, we've been good. So I believe I'm not here to tell any parent how to raise their child, but that was my own way of doing it as a single mother. His father is dead. I was just thinking, now that this boy is here, I'm in school, what am I supposed to do? And that is what I want to talk to parents about. When my son came, before he came, I was doing 2-3 jobs to bring him. But when he came, I reduced those jobs. I was in school at the time. I did my schedule in a way that it balances with his schedule. If I have to go to school today, I make sure he stays after school. You know, so those are the things that I did. But let us start focusing on our children, mentorship and everything. Teach them how to respect their culture. But una them pick that una don't can this country. Una don't know it for una for do to yourself. Una so entitled. I know some parents will buy these things, spoil these kids. Things that they themselves cannot wear, they cannot afford is what they want their children to wear. Even when you're cooking, sometimes your kids cannot even come to the kitchen to help. They talk about an American picking. Are you really kidding me? American picking. We say these are the American children, but they are dying in the same America that we claim these are their children. What makes you think when you're in America you cannot teach your child how to cook, clean, and discipline them? I know the discipline part is very difficult because parents is limited in this country because of these laws and systems and all that. But we need to be able to teach them to listen to us, you know. They are so easy to call cops on people, failing to realize the system does not care about them. But they tell una today, una not get no entitlement at this country. When they go take gun, I'm going to protect myself. Protect yourself from what? From who? When your child start talking about I'm going to protect myself, start looking into what their activities. My son don't know this, but now he's going to know. What I do sometimes is I Google his name up to see if he has committed anything that I don't know about, because sometimes they go out there and do things you don't know. I even go to the court system and type his name if there's any criminal activities in there. That is what I do. We have to check on our children. We have to teach them our basic foundation, the culture, our heritage. Maybe picking on they talk English now. The very day he came, I said no English, because they will learn their English out there. They'll come back and teach you that English. You see, the day a Spanish child is born, they start speaking Spanish. But us Africans, when we come here, it's only English. You know, the whole world they talk English. But me, I tell her English, not to me also. Let us. Creole is what we talk at home. Some of households, they don't even speak Creole anymore, or their languages to their kids. Now, American kids, they need to be fluent in the English. They are already fluent, my people. You hear my accent. My son will come and teach me English. The phonetics of what the English language, the American English phonetics is about. They will teach you. So you don't need to speak that to them at home. Talk your language to them. Teach them how to cook. Teach them how to clean. My son is a man and he cooks. I've taught him how to cook. He's the only child that I have. I don't have to wait to have a daughter to teach them how to cook. Even the daughters that some of you guys have, you don't teach them how to cook. But anyway, another young man there. This entitled mentality one I don't get. Please stop it. This violence in our community needs to stop. It needs to end. This entitlement to una get, this excessive right and no accountability for our actions has to stop. Thank you everybody for watching. May God bless us all.